All right, we're back. Sorry about the interruption, a little technical difficulty.
Nobody even knew there was an interruption. They just started playing the next one. All right, so anyway, back to your story.
So next thing you know, I got to order a new insurance card, and I'm still in the process of trying to get in there, but I just made it more difficult by going somewhere else. I just said, fine, I'll get some substance abuse counseling over at Pyramid of Hope Counseling. And they were great. They got me in. They found my Medicare. So who knows? And then Bear River calls me up, and they're like, "Oh, are you going to come, blah, blah." And I'm like, well, now I got outpatient, or I got some counseling. And they're like, okay, we don't know if we can give you one-on-one sessions. I opened up a whole new can of worms, she said, and gave them a whole bunch of more work. So now we can find out if you can actually get covered for help in two different places at the same time, which I'll get counseling one place, and I'm going to try to get into a group or whatever over at Bear River. But thank you, everybody.
Yeah, frustrating.
It is all frustrating.
It's very frustrating. And that's what I was running into today. Because I was calling different places, and Network 180 in Grand Rapids, I'm not a big fan. They always try to send people to this place, and it's just not a good place, and they know it. And the people that work there are kind of like, meh. Seen this dude here a bunch of times, like, meh. Like, we're not trying to help anybody. There's no inspiring going on. It's all about coming in there and getting a check. And that's what I felt like for some of the places I was calling today. They're like, oh, well, no, they have to get this through them. And I'm like, do you realize, like, without these people that you're looking down on, clearly, today I talked to 2 or 3 people that were just disgusted with, well, why is she doing drugs? And yeah, I'm like, well, she's just doing them. So let's just get her help right now. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And without people with problems, these people wouldn't have jobs. They would have no phone to answer.
Yeah, they definitely don't have appreciation and gratitude. And
no, something's got to change.
They don't know what it's like, or that it is a disease, and it's something you need help for. You don't look down on somebody who has cancer or blame them for having it. Somebody who has an addiction needs help, they should receive it.
One of the programs I heard about too at the opioid consortium, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, I think it was in April, because I think I spoke at the one in May, but the Michigan State Police were there. And they were about the Angel program, which there's a link on our page, 217recovery.com. And I was under the understanding from hearing them talk there that, hey, anybody who comes in, we're not going to, ask you, where you got the drugs from. We're not going to ask you your name. You just come in, tell us you need help, and we're going to get you the help you need. Well, you were there with me yesterday when I called them and said, hey, the Angel program, my friend, she's concerned that she might have a warrant for child support. And the lady was like, oh, well, no, we're going to have to deal with that first.
Yeah.
Like, wait. So, no, she needs to go get help for this before she can even think about doing anything. And, yeah, she might be behind on child support payments, but she's never going to get it caught up because she's going to be dead. So let's get her the help. And it wasn't that lady's fault, the one who answered the phone. She was kind of nice about it in a way, but she's not making the policies.
Yeah.
But she understood, she's like, yeah, how is she going to pay when she's in jail? And then when she gets out of jail without the proper treatment, without the proper help, she's going to go right back to it. She's going to get kicked out of jail. Yeah. She's going to be let go. And then what? No ride, homeless, on the street. Okay. Drugs again.
Just compounding the problem.
Yeah. So
from a law point of view, they're not really concerned about the person. They're just concerned about upholding their laws.
Yeah, because they need jobs too. And if they didn't have people to lock up, then, well, they wouldn't have a job. And it's all about money. It really is, man. From the drug dealer down to the people trying to help, it's all about money. And that's sad. And you would think, in a perfect world, you would think, okay, say your son comes to you, or your daughter, and they're like, I need help. And you don't have $1 billion laying around in the bank, and you want to get them help. and they come to you and they're probably sick, maybe really hungover. Like I would get so sick from alcohol. Like people think, oh, I'm dope sick. I don't know, man. Like I don't know. That's been week in bed, bro. Like it was not good. But anyway, regardless of what's worse, they come to you, and then you try to reach out to get them help, and it takes days and weeks. And it's not just like, hey, you need help? Okay, let me go to 217recovery.com. Let me get the resources. Let me call, and we're going to get you out of here tonight. Unless, and I was thinking about this earlier, and part of me didn't want to share this, but then part of me did. And I don't want Lisa to be mad at me from Kirsten's ride, but sorry, Lisa. Lisa, you might be mad, but Lisa, I'm just saying, and this is what I had to do personally. So I'm not making stuff up. I'm not telling people to do this. I'm saying this is something that I did, and it was encouraged by one of the, I don't know if she was a case manager or what, but she said to me, Corey, are you going to harm yourself? I was like, no, I just want to go to Pine Rest. Like, let me ask you that again, because you want to go to Pine Rest, right? I was like, yeah. Corey, do you want to harm yourself? And like gave me that nod, like, you know, say yeah. I was like, oh yeah, yep, sure do. Well, how are you going to do it? Run my car into a tree. I don't know. Okay, then yep, that's. And I mean, and that it's sad that I had to say that, but then that opened a whole nother can of worms. And after you do that a few times,
you're getting counseling.
Yeah, then you're into another spot of the hospital that you've never been, called the mental ward. That was interesting as hell. I could write a book about that place. But that's what I did, and that's what I had to do, and that's what I was telling my friend, because other friend in Grand Rapids who was in Bear River with me, he was down there, and I was like, Matt, can you help her out? You know, and he's like, I don't want any shenanigans. He didn't use that word, but he's like, I'll throw her out of my whip. You know, I was like, yeah, I think she just wants help, man. But he was going to look into it. He's like, you know, what should I do? And I told him, I was like, well, she's going to have to say this, because if you bring her to an ER without that story, they're just going to look at her and say, yeah, you were just here. What do you want? Get out. Bye.
Yep.
And I'm only saying that because that's my experience going there drunk. And they, after a while, they kind of liked me, but it was weird. And that's a weird feeling, too, when you're in the ER and people are coming up, hey, Corey, you back again? I'm like, what? Like, that's, yeah, not a good feeling. I mean, it was cool that they didn't, like, hate me at the end, but at the same time, not cool. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, that's what they'll do to her, unless she comes in there and, well, this is what I was going to do. And then it goes from get out of my ER to, all right, we're going to have somebody from Network 180 come to you. And I think that's what she's going to have to do, you know, and that's, like I said, that's what I told Matt to do. So, I mean, hey, if they have their system in place, I don't feel not one bit bad about doing what I have to do on the other end to get my results. Because they're doing what they need to do on their end. Nope, you can't go here, you can't do that until you meet with these people, until they get some money. They got to get paid from the state first. Then we'll let you into the doors, you know, and it's like, you know, okay, well then if I'm going to have to go through that, you know, and get to that place and to do that by going to a hospital, by going to somewhere safe. Like I was calling women's shelters in Grand Rapids, and they're like, well, she's still going to have to go through. And then I said to the fact, and this, I believe 98% that, and she didn't say it to me, and I wasn't trying to pry because I'm not trying to bring up hard stuff, but I think she was probably being made to turn tricks, I guess you could say. I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. Yeah. Now they call it human trafficking. Prostitution, human trafficking, I don't know. I don't know if there's a huge difference. I'm not real knowledgeable about that stuff. I know it's bad, and I know it happens way more than you think, but as far as what's one and what's the other, I don't know. But the lady said, well, we're more for human trafficking. That kind of sounds like prostitution. And, you know, I'm like, she's like, we only help battered women that are in, what did she say?
Do it?
No, in domestic relationships or something like that. And I was like, what? I was like, did you hear what I just said to you? And she's like, yeah. I was like, she's being made to sell her body for drugs. And you're telling me that you can't take her because you have to be married or in a relationship with a guy who may be beating you or using you? Like, how is that okay? Dude, I was getting so frustrated, Ryan. And I couldn't believe what people were telling me.
Yeah, definitely a bunch of hoops and hurdles to overcome. I don't have a whole lot of experience with all kinds of foundations. One avenue I do know is up in northern Michigan or the UP.
Well, you generally just go straight to jail, right?
North Care, and they definitely fund a lot of people. One of the ways to get in faster is if you're an IV user or hurting yourself, they put you on a rush list to get in treatment, but they definitely cover a lot of people and are a great resource. And even when I came down here, they set me up with this other foundation that helps, but I can't remember their name because I've just been so frustrated.
Is it NMRE?
I think it might be MRE.
There's some good people there, but it's like, and they got to do their job, and they got to get their money, and they got their goals, and they got everything, But that just makes it so frustrating that you can't just call up somebody and say, hey, come get my daughter. She needs help, and she's telling me she wants help. We got to get it now. It's very crucial that we help these people at this time. The Michigan State Police, the Angel program. Okay, that's great, but she thought she might have a warrant for child support, and somebody who's already on drugs, they don't want to be around the police. They think it's a setup anyway, and they don't want to be in jail. They just want to get help because they know that they go in jail. There's no help in jail, by the way. If you've not picked up on that yet, there's zero help in jail. That's a business too. Yeah, that's who you're giving your money to. Wouldn't you rather help somebody than just give your money to jail to waste people's lives and time? Jail, okay, I get it for certain crimes, but for using drugs and stuff like that, I think that's just silly. But that's another topic. We're just talking about frustration.
Yeah, you're getting frustrated over there about that.
I know, man. Like, I'm gonna have to pray when we get done here.
Yeah, Lord, I'll pray for you.
Lord, help me out and help Amanda. And I just worry, but I don't know until
there's a quick, fast. I don't know if there ever will be a quick, fast result or way to get into treatment. And being an addict, that window doesn't really open for a very long time before you're using again and changing your mind, So usually these people are people who need immediate help, and when they're willing to do it, that's the best opportunity you have. Otherwise, convincing them when they don't want to is near impossible, and they're not going to give it a real effort anyways, so you'll just see them relapsing when they get out. If they even stay, they'll stay maybe a week or something. You see that a lot too. People, they just detox and start to feel a little better, and out the door and using again they go.
Yep, I did that a few times. I was like, yeah, I'm here for 3, 4, 5 days. I'm feeling good. Let's go.
No, I completed both my treatments and even put a little OT in my last one. Did 63 days. The first one I did 30 days and completed the program both times, but
nice.
I gave her a little effort, but
yeah, hey.
I relapsed after the first one, obviously, because I went to the second one. I went again, and then I gave it no half measures. I stayed as long as I could until I got this sober living set up and went on the right path and didn't have an option to fail and use again.
It's when you make those tough decisions, too, because, you could use. Are there consequences to it? Yeah, absolutely, but you still have that option. If you really wanted to, you could. But you realize that you don't want to, and you don't. And I think when that finally sinks in, that's when it becomes, oh, okay, well, let me surround myself with the right people. Let me jump on the podcast,
Let me do the right thing.
I do this podcast because it keeps me sober,
yeah,
and they say, You've probably heard it a billion times too. You got to find healthy coping skills, and you need to read books. What do you like to do?